Hey, hools. I'm Brianna. This is Darryl.
Hello.
And we're back with some more Reddit stories because these are fun to do and I like judging other people.
Isn't it great to just sit back in the comfort of your own chair and just you, me, a screen, and tea the way that our good Lord intended. I'm just turning this fan off here so that everyone at home doesn't hear it.
So this is going to be a new series that we're going to do. It's called Spicy Saturday. Basically, we just read Reddit stories every Saturday, and we called it Spicy Saturday because it is pretty spicy. All right, first story. So this one is coming from user Free Grapefruit 2289. Am I the asshole for forcing my stepdaughter to cut her hair? Okay. I, 31, met my husband, 34, 8 years ago, and we've been married for 6. He has an 11-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. I work from home, so I mainly end up taking care of her. I have since she was young. We have a generally good relationship. She stays at her mother's most weekends. She has incredibly long, blonde, wavy hair just past her bottom. It's a nightmare to take care of. It frequently tangles, and she always needs help brushing and styling it before school. I'm not a morning person, and I do not like having to wake up early to do a kid's hair. It's expensive to maintain as she requires more products. She insists on using hair oils, which can cost around $11 and only last a few weeks. She also insists that she has to use curly hair shampoo instead of regular shampoo and conditioner, which is often over $10 per bottle. As she goes through it at a fast rate, she won't use a regular brush on it as she insists it breaks her hair and hurts, so she uses a wide tooth comb, which takes a long time to brush when she could be doing other more productive things such as homework or helping me with chores.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I decided she had become obsessed with her hair, and I do not want her to become vain. Keyword, she decided that she had become obsessed with her hair. So I decided it needs to be cut. I don't see it as a big deal, as I always have had shoulder-length hair, as my hair does not grow very fast, and I get frequent trims. I took her to the hairdressers as normal. In the car on the way down, she said she wants to make sure the hairdresser doesn't cut too much. I politely explained that I would like her to cut her hair to shoulder length as it has become a burden. At first, she thought I was joking. When she realized, she started to cry. She is 11. Okay.
Yeah. Wait, and also, is this the mom?
This is a stepmom. When we got to the salon, the hairdresser was reluctant to cut her hair due to her tears, but I explained the trouble we have maintaining it and assured cutting it would be best for her. In the end, the stylist agreed and cut her hair. The stylist braided her hair, then cut it. Her hair was now just past shoulder length and looked a lot darker. The car journey home was silent. I offered her McDonald's, but she refused. She's mad. You know she's mad.
You know she's mad. If an 11-year-old refuses a McDonald's trip,
that's crazy.
Bad.
She went straight to her room when we got back. My husband went up to see her when he got home and apparently found her on her bed sobbing, holding her old hair. My husband immediately called her mother to come and collect her, and as soon as my stepdaughter was out of the door, he started yelling. Her mother also came in and gave me a mouthful. I explained my reasoning, but my husband wouldn't budge. He said if I had an issue, he would have did her hair in the morning and that he didn't mind paying for the products. He was so furious, he said he no longer trusts me around his daughter and doesn't know if he can be with a woman who he doesn't trust with her. This broke my heart. I didn't mean her any harm. I was just so tired and I'm trying to reduce stress. I've always been the one to raise her and her brother, and I'm just exhausted. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, kinda.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. You are her stepmom, bro. First of all, she said, I work from home, so I mainly end up taking care of her. And she doesn't want to wake up early to do her hair. You have known this little girl since she was 3? And you're acting like she's a burden dog? That's kind of fucked up. Like, you knew what you were getting into.
She explained to the hairdresser that it was a burden. I remember that.
Yeah.
But did she explicitly explain to her stepdaughter that it's a burden for her?
She said, I politely explained that I would like her to cut her hair to shoulder length as it has become a burden.
I don't know. At 11 years old, I knew what a burden was. So it's like,
I would feel like shit if my stepmom was like, hey, you're a lot right now just because of your hair.
The thing that made me laugh at the beginning was when she said that she could be doing other things rather than being too focused on her hair, like her homework,
or helping me with chores.
Listen, like, I mean, how obsessed is she with her hair? Is she like in the bathroom constantly, looking at it? Is she constantly playing with her hair to the point where she can't focus on other things when she's being asked to? I don't know. However, that doesn't change the fact that this mom seems like a raging
dude. Like, she's pretty much only complaining for having to help her brush it and style it, an 11-year-old, and complaining about the cost of the hair oils and like shampoo and conditioner and stuff, which she said can cost around $11.
I don't know. $11 doesn't seem like that much.
Come on, dude. Like, I
for
doubt
your
she goes through it
stepdaughter?
like every fucking day. Like, come on. What, $11? Like, what, every week? Every 2 weeks? Brother.
It's not that big a deal.
It's
You know,
not that
Don't
serious.
you want your stepchild to be clean?
So the consensus...
You went dead there for a second. I'm like, are you okay?
I looked at myself like, really? The consensus was the asshole.
I would have been baffled if it went any other way.
I wouldn't understand if they were like, nope, you're right. The stepmom who wants to control the stepdaughter who has no say in parenting. So the top comment, and this is like in a red box, so it's like got super upvoted and like has an award and shit. It said, you're the asshole, you're the asshole, you're the asshole, you're the fucking asshole. How dare you?
That's it?
No, it's still more. God damn it.
I mean, honestly, that deserved an award right there. That's all you needed to say.
How dare you cut her hair and take away her autonomy just because you have decided she is vain? What the absolute hell? I'm seriously at a loss for words that you even have to ask whether or not this was an asshole thing to do. Shame on you, seriously. I don't understand calling an 11-year-old, let's remind you, that she's vain because she wants to take care of her hair. What?
I don't know about you, but I'm very self-aware of how much I love my hair.
Yeah, dude. And 11 is such a, like, you're about to be a preteen. That age, you're constantly worrying about, like, what other people think and how you look and how your body is. I can't imagine having your stepmother be like, no, you need to change this one thing that you very much seem to care about and want to take care of because
But
it's
I don't like
hard
it,
for me.
so it's gotta go.
Like, whoa.
We should get, like, someone to make, like, a brand for us where it's, like, if we vote asshole, it's, like, a brand and it goes, like, psst.
So the second one, it's posted by user nobuy4881. This one's called, Am I the Asshole for Calling My Father-in-Law a Pervert? Yeah.
I remember before we got into this call, you told me that yours are pretty on
crazy.
brand for the spiciness.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. This one especially. I have a 7-month-old baby boy. I'm breastfeeding, but baby is currently weaning. So weaning off, you know.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that my father-in-law...
What did you think? What did you think I thought weaning
general,
meant?
Because I don't know if people know.
Like wean.
Like weaning off, just like being bottle fed. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm convinced that my father-in-law... Sorry. Oh, it's funny. I'm convinced that my father-in-law is being weird about my breastfeeding, and not in a that makes me uncomfortable way. I made the baby popsicles from my boob milk a few months ago. A few months ago. And father-in-law put in the group chat that I'd love to try one of those with the heart says eyes emoji.
Wait, what emoji?
Like the heart eye emoji?
Oh, no. No.
What the fuck? I said, what the fuck? They're made from best breast milk. And he said he didn't notice that caption. Today, I baked the baby some muffins. It's a recipe that called for a half cup... Wow, Jesus Christ.
Breast milk?
Yeah, a half cup of breast milk. So I made
Oh,
them...
you're not kidding.
Yeah, no, dead ass.
Oh,
So I
God.
made them per recipe. Father-in-law came over unannounced and said, oh, yum, someone's been baking. So I told him, those muffins are for the baby. They're just fruit, flour, and breast milk. That sounds disgusting. Fruit, flour, and breast milk.
That was the next line in the story. Like, oh, he suddenly changed his mind about the breast milk muffins.
Fruit, flour, and breast milk.
Still sounds like you're missing some ingredients there, sis.
You know, it's for a baby. I then left the room to wash my hands, came back, and one of the muffins was missing. I asked husband, and he had no idea.
I'm just imagining the shock of walking in and seeing the muffin tin and just like, my muffin. Wait,
Just one missing. I'd
Hang
be like,
on.
what?
there's one missing. No, it couldn't be.
I asked husband, and he had no idea, so I asked father-in-law, and he said that he ate it. I said, that's disgusting. I told him they were the babies and contained breast milk. He doubled down and said, it's okay because breast milk is vegan. I told him he's a creepy pervert and to get the fuck out of my house.
Creepy pervert?
Wait, I said pervert.
You said pervert.
God damn it. He's a creepy pervert and to get the fuck out of my house. Husband is baffled by the whole thing and was convinced it was a misunderstanding, even though I explicitly said they're made with breast milk. Father-in-law said I'm a dick because I'd made loads and the baby wouldn't miss out. Mother-in-law was blowing up my phone until I asked her if she was really okay with father-in-law drinking milk that came direct from my breast. I think she didn't get the whole story. My sisters say it's fucking gross, and father-in-law is a weirdo. Give me your thoughts.
Wow, I have so many. Where do I start?
What's the vibes on this one?
God, who the fuck are you, Homelander? Like, what the fuck? I would definitely sit that man down and have a little conversation.
That's clearly like a kink thing going on with him.
It's gotta be.
Because
it can't be out of sheer morbid curiosity.
you have a kid. You could have easily just been like, hey, wife, can I try some of that? And then boom, curiosity cured. It's just, I can't imagine asking my son's wife to be like, can I try some of your boob milk? Can I just have some of that? A popsicle made out of boob milk? And he said, I'd love to try one of those. So this is the update. I asked my husband what he thought I was mad about. He was in the room, but on the other side and occupied with the baby. And he said he didn't realize that his dad actually ate the muffin. He thought I was pissed because he was messing with them. He also didn't remember the group chat incident, but agreed that both incidents together is creepy. I called mother-in-law to clear the air, and she revealed that father-in-law has always been very interested in lactation, and she actually only fed husband for 4 months and always behind a locked door. Apparently, he moved jobs after a woman complained that he kept intruding on her pumping in a designated space in the office. I told them father-in-law is not welcome around me and have asked for the key to our house back. I shared the concerns about him tampering with my milk and contaminating it, and also that if his own wife wanted him locked out, then I'm entitled to that too. The comment that hit my husband was the one about father-in-law getting off for years on the memory of eating the gross as fuck baby muffin. Husband said he won't be able to look father-in-law in the eye again. Wow. So yeah, that's a kink thing.
Papa was always interested in lactation.
Blech. One of the top comments is, what a terrible day to have eyes.
Or if you're watching this video or just listening to this video in the background, ears.
Yeah, so the consensus was not the asshole. And I agree wholeheartedly, because that guy needs to be
I don't know why she had to ask.
Yeah,
I feel like she just needed to get the story out there.
I feel like she just needed to vent and be like, can you believe this motherfucker?
It's more of a case of like, tell me I'm not crazy.
You don't need to have that man in your life or around your kid. If your husband wants to see him, that's his own thing, because that's his father. But that's your boob milk.
Your baby. Yeah.
And you're allowed to gatekeep it.
My body, my milk.
All right, what you got for me, Darryl?
This one comes from user GetFlanked_AXR. Am I the asshole for not wanting my girlfriend to attend an out-of-state college? I, male, 20, been with my girlfriend now for 3 years this Wednesday. She, 19, wants to be a vet, and I fully support that decision. Obviously, to become a vet, you have to attend an undergraduate school for a pre-vet major before moving on to a grad school. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Obviously.
She understands this.
Yeah, me too. Sorry, I didn't want to be a vet. She understands this, and she's been looking for colleges lately. I don't believe she's been looking at colleges for the right reason. Now, for context, we both love to ski, rock climb, everything like that. But I feel she's been mainly putting that before education for college, and it's very upsetting. She found a beautiful college in North Carolina where she can rock climb, ski, or do anything like that, basically whenever she wants outside of the classroom. And they have a great vet clinic there that their students can use to better pursue their major. She claims that this is her dream college, even though it isn't a feeder school for the veterinarian colleges. No matter how hard I try to explain to her that it doesn't matter where she gets her pre-vet major, she won't budge. I tried explaining to her that she can get the same exact major at a more local-based college and pay almost $50,000 less tuition. Every time I bring this up to her, she always gets angry at me, saying that she doesn't care. I've been telling her that I don't believe that long-distance relationships work, as I've been in one before. I know that I'm going to have to cut ties with her if she pursues these plans. I feel like shit because I plan to propose to her soon, but I can't be in a relationship with someone that I only see a few weeks a year. I don't feel it's right to stay in a relationship with someone who is changing over the course of 4 years, unseen to my eyes. She would save so much more money staying local, and she would get the same education, but I don't know how to put that across without saying it's not my place. Oh, without her saying it's not my place. For those wondering, the distance of the college, it's about a 12-hour drive and 3 states away. Am I the asshole?
Man.
So obviously they're right at the point now where they're going off to college from high school or whatnot.
Yeah, and they've been together since he was 17 and she was 16. So that's pretty, that's like a, your first like real relationship. It's kind of like everything. Like
it's like that's your whole entire world.
Yeah,
and when
that's
it
like
happens, it feels like you're
for you.
And like when that relationship, inevitably, I mean, like, I'm not saying inevitably, like my best friend, him and his girlfriend have been together for like 12 years, and they just got engaged.
That's really cute.
They've been together since like high school.
And sometimes that's the case. Not all the time, but high school sweethearts, they end up getting married.
Obviously that shouldn't scare people to date in high school. Sometimes that's
you
the
have
case,
to experience that.
Yeah, and that's like those cases, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not with the same person that I was with in high school. I didn't even have a girlfriend when I was a senior in high school, so I can't really put myself in their shoes. Looking at some of my friends that were in relationships in high school, leaving from senior year into the next year, some of my friends that were seniors were dating a junior. None of them are still together, but obviously that doesn't mean they can't move on with their lives and go do other things, because you're so freaking young at that age.
Dude.
And it sounds so weird that I understand that now. I'm coming
I
to
feel
terms
that.
with that.
It takes a little bit for you to realize, like, wow, I was kind of dramatic.
Yeah, and also kind of stupid as well.
Yeah. I definitely kind of feel for him, because I was in that kind of boat. Like, I dated someone towards the end of high school, at least what should have been the end of high school, but I like dropped out before that. It was her end of high school, and then she like went off to college, and it was like, it wasn't that far. It was like 3 hours away. It was kind of sort of long distance. We kind of saw each other like every fucking weekend. And it kind of sucks. Yeah, like it kind of sucks because you can't just see them whenever you want. But, people need to grow. People need to experience new things. If that's something that she feels like is going to make her happy and that she wants to experience, I think you should totally let her do that.
I 100% agree with that.
So yeah, you kind of are the asshole, my guy.
The overall consensus is you're the asshole.
Yeah.
Her choice of college should be based on what matters to her, not to please some guy who just plans to dump her as soon as he doesn't get his way.
Agreed. And to say, like, okay, I understand that not everyone is built for long distance. Like, it's hard. But like, to be like, oh, I know I gotta cut ties with her because she's not what I want now because she's far. Like, that's fucked up.
And also, like, I mean, not to be that guy, but to go on Reddit and say this, I mean, obviously you take it with a grain of salt because, like, it's Reddit. Chances are a large percentage of these stories are made up.
We are treating it that it is true. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. So my argument is invalid.
Exactly.
Let me move on to my next point, aka find another point.
We gotta take these bitches at face value.
Second comment is, you're the asshole. First of all, you have been with her for 3 years, so whatever long-distance relationship you were in before her was when you were in your teens. Not
and
at
that
all
doesn't
a fair
even
comparison.
count.
Yeah, exactly. Not at all a fair comparison to a relationship where you are at the point of considering marriage. Second, just because you were ready to propose doesn't mean that she's ready for that or that she needs to make major life decisions based on your relationship. I also don't see how you can love someone enough to be considering marriage but not be willing to even try a long distance relationship, which was the point I was going to make eventually.
Me too. Like, you've been with that girl for 3 years now, and you said, I want to marry her. I was planning on proposing to her. But at 20, she's 19? Ain't no way.
You ain't ready for that.
Ain't
you ain't
no
ready for that
way.
commitment, man. You ain't ready for that commitment.
I can't imagine getting married right now because I am figuring out myself. Like, I can't.
People our age that are already married, yeah, some of them have it figured out already, but that's
some people
their
have full-blown families, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, like, that's fine.
Yeah,
but
everyone has different paths.
It's just not for me right now, man.
Yeah.
It's not for me right now. I got things I gotta do, like record Spicy Saturday.
Exactly, dude. We have our priorities in order, and that's
Yeah.
YouTube. But yeah, dude, you're 20 years old. You have so much life ahead of you. And she's 19 years old. She's got so much life ahead of her. Like, y'all need to just go your separate ways, grow separately. And if you guys end up, like, reconnecting, just later down the line, your paths cross again. And you know, fuck yeah, pog. But if not, life's a highway, dude. You'll find someone else.
So this last story is brought to us by Drunk Friends 21. Am I the asshole for kicking out my drunk friend? This story is from the point of view of a 20-year-old male, just like our last story.
Oh, you're not supposed to be drinking.
Wondering if what I did was wrong and if it's worth an apology. Friend group is split in half. I, 20, male, recently moved into a house for university. My uncle is pretty well off and has a house he planned to rent out for extra income, but decided to let me stay in until I graduate. A very kind thing for him to do. It's in a nice area, has a huge garden, tons of space, very large wooden fence surrounding the place that's 6 feet high, relevant to the story. I had a party with my uncle's permission. The only condition he had was to not wreck the house and make any permanent damages. He knew we'd be drinking and that as long as I clean up, it's fine. There was around 30 of us, friends of friends. It was great fun. Everyone brought their own drinks and had a laugh. The party went on until about 3 a.m. I had no real issues. Sure, there were drinks spilled, stains to clean, but it was all wipeable, apart from one thing. James brought a friend who got really drunk. I also think he'd taken some kind of substance before the party, and he was causing a ruckus. Almost broke a window, throwing things around, and almost flooded the kitchen towards the end of the night when we asked him to get some water, and he left the tap on while we were all in the garden. Because of this, I kicked him out, quotes. I use quotes because he cussed me out over text today, and that's what multiple people said to me as they were leaving, that it was harsh of me to not let him come inside with us, and that I basically kicked him out. When everyone started coming back in, I sent him to the garden for fresh air. He did not come back inside for an hour. He would knock at the window, and I'd let him in for a bit, but I also didn't trust that he wasn't going to wreck the house. His pupils were dilated, and he reeked of smoke. I assume he smoked the pack in my jacket, so I kept him out there. I think I was in the right to let him sit out there and sober up because this technically isn't my house and I don't want to let my uncle down, but I will admit I wouldn't like it if the roles were reversed. I also didn't kick him out onto the street and instead into the garden. Am I the asshole?
Kind of made me laugh. It's like he would knock on the window and I'd let him in for a bit like a dog. It's so funny.
Sure, boy, you can come in and have some
Sure, you
scraps.
can come in for a little.
Yeah, I think there's some crusts from the leftover pizza that we ordered.
Well, you know, I do not think he's an asshole. I think it would have been different if he like kicked him out onto the street or just like made him go somewhere else that wasn't on his property. I do think that person who got fucked up is kind of an asshole because it's not your house, like going to someone's party, just causing chaos and to like take something before. Like, I get it. We all have a little fun. We all do different things. That's fine. But like, don't be a menace.
Nothing is worse than going to a party and there's just one person
That's just beyond
fucks up the entire vibe.
Yeah.
I kind of consider it a talent, to be quite honest with you.
It is, to
'Cause
be
I can't
honest.
figure out how they do it. Surprise, there's a third Am I the Asshole story from me.
Ooh.
This one is my own.
Ooh, spill.
This is when I first moved out of my parents' house. I was probably at the ripe age of 21 when I was able to start drinking legally. Here's the thing. I could have drank when I was younger than 21.
I did.
I understand that. Some people might be like, oh, you waited until you're 21? Yeah, I had to. You know why? Because I was never invited to any parties.
I wasn't either. It's okay. I drink at home.
I move into an apartment with two of my friends. They like to throw parties. I'd been to a couple of their parties before I moved in. One night we're throwing this party, and my roommate invites one of his new coworkers that he had just met. He passed his vibe check or whatever you want to call it. And, you know, this was his first time coming over to one of these parties. For an idea, it's like a 3-bedroom apartment. So we have a living room, a decently sized middle room, a kitchen, and a back porch and a front porch. There's probably 35 people in this apartment. I'm having a smoke out on the back porch. One of my friends comes out to me and says, hey, Darryl, some dude's playing your guitar. Is that okay?
No.
And I'm like, One sec. So I go in because I
Let
don't
me
automatically.
recess.
I come out. He's playing guitar. He's trying to play it for some of the girls that are in the room.
Anyway, here's
obviously,
Wonderwall.
yeah. Like honestly, like that was the vibe that it gave off. Like every
God.
single time someone says, "Here's Wonderwall," I shit you not, I think about this guy, and I'm like, "Hey man, listen, I don't mind if you play my guitar. I didn't mean to leave it out. Like it was like in a case. So he went through the effort of unzipping my guitar case and taking my guitar out
No.
without thinking of asking anybody whose guitar
Hard
is
no.
this."
Hard no.
So disclaimer for this part real quick, sexual assault and topics of being overweight. So I'm walking back into the kitchen and two of my girlfriends are talking to this guy and he is making a joke about sexual assault. And then my two friends, they're trying to explain to him why what he's saying is fucked up. But he keeps trying to defend his stance. He had actually made a couple people so uncomfortable that they decided to just go to a bar and, you know, not be at the party. Later, one of my friends, I'm not going to say their real name, so I'm just going to say Tori with a Y. Asshole recognizes Tori and says, "Hey, we used to go to school together, right?" And then all of a sudden he just says, "Yeah, I mean, like, you were a little fatter then, but you look great now." I stood up from the couch and I said, "Hey, dude, come here." Right behind the couch, there's this little like walkway that goes to the front door. We're standing in the front door and I say, "I don't care where you go, but you are not welcome in this fucking apartment ever again. Get the fuck out." That is the only time that I have ever spoken to someone like that.
Fuck that guy. Oh my god, I would have thrown hands.
Which is why when we were reading that last story, some people were saying like, "Oh, he was an asshole for kicking him out of the house just in general or whatever."
No, dude. If
someone
is very clearly making people uncomfortable and just acting like an ass, you do not need to keep them in your home.
2 days later, he got fired at my coworker's job where he worked. So,
good.
Yeah.
Wow, what a fucking loser. Yeah.
Fucking loser, man. Oh, wait, I never asked. Am I the asshole for kicking that guy out of my apartment? No, right?
No, not the asshole at all.
And so, everybody, that concludes the very first Spicy Saturday. There's going to be some more coming your way. Expect a Spicy Saturday every Saturday from here on out, unless we say so.
I did a dance.
Oh, you did a dance? Oh, cool. Was it spicy?
No.
Well, not that, not like...
I started lap dancing my chair.
Oh my god. Okay, cut the video. We're done.